Welcome to the Voices of Dreamers podcast. My name is Lipe, and I will be your host as we explore the stories, struggles, and the resilience of the DACA community. This podcast is dedicated to sharing the voices of dreamers, those who are redefining what it means to call this country home while navigating the unique challenges of the immigration system. Whether you're a dreamer yourself, an ally, or someone who wants to learn more, this is the space for understanding, empowerment, and most of all, hope. Thank you for joining me. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Voices of Dreamers podcast. Today, I'm excited to introduce Maribel.
Good, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for wanting to come on and tell your story, especially, oh my God, today it's like already starting with the news and stuff.
Mind blowing. What's going on?
Right? It's like,
hmm
oh, okay, girly. So, whatever you don't feel comfortable saying or discussing, just let me know, and it's totally okay. I want you guys to feel safe sharing your story, and if you feel like, oh my God, I don't want to share too much, it's totally okay. I always like to start by having you guys share your story if you know it, like when you came here, at what age, if you remember it.
He came to the United States when I was 5 years old. Um, I was originally born in Morelia, Michoacán, Mexico. Um, I was born in 1984, so I came to the United States in September, October of 1990, um, when I was about 5 years old. I came along with three siblings. So I'm the fourth s- I'm the baby of the family.
Oh,
I have an older sister, two brothers, and then there's me. I remember the reason we came to the United States was because my sister, my oldest sister, was born with cleft palate. So I remember that my dad was already in the United States, and back in the day, it was like you could come and go as many times as you
okay.
you could, and it was like
Yeah,
quicker and easier. And he
yeah.
did. He just traveled back and forth. Um, my dad was here 1986 when they did the amnesty.
Oh,
Um, but in 1986, my grandmother dies, so my dad had to go back to Mexico. And so
oh,
he missed out of the amnesty. Like his
oh.
job actually hired an attorney to fix all of the workers' papers, but my dad wasn't there.
Oh, he
So,
wasn't able
because
to?
he wasn't able to because his mom died.
Oh, got it,
So
got
he
it.
went back to Mexico. So
Yeah.
then in a few years go by, my sister's not getting the medical care that she needs. The surgeries were going very, very slow. The way they did them was, doctors came from the United States, like practicing doctors, and they came
Oh,
in packets. So, like, they were there for 2 days and they operated on as many kids as they could for 2 days.
got it, got it.
So, my dad said, we have to take her. We have to take her to the United States because
Mm,
otherwise she's not going to progress.
oh, wow.
So in 1990, my mom decided, well, at first they were just going to bring her and leave us there. And my mom said, I'm not going to go without my other kids. So my mom packed up one day, packed up our house, and we traveled for 3 days on a bus to Tijuana, where my dad met us. And then we stayed at a hotel. And then the next day we walked to the border. And I mean, I think we sat there for maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, until I remember my dad getting on a mountain sand. Back in the days, there was there was no barras, there was no boards. So I remember my dad going on one mountain, like a dirt mountain, and then I remember another guy going on a dirt mountain. And then I remember them going like, it's time. So
Oh,
the other
yeah.
guy did that to the other guy and then did that to my dad. And then when we went like that, like we
Yeah.
all started running.
It's time to go. Yeah.
We ran. And then we uh I mean, it was crazy because they were running after us, the motorcycles, the helicopter, like they were just running and getting people. We crossed like a little river, like a little riverbed. Um, and we we went on like not logs but boards that people were putting. And
Oh,
then
okay.
I remember there was a fight and this guy pulled out a gun and like when we were crossing. And so then my dad grabbed all of us and we're running. We kept running.
Yeah.
At one point, one of my brothers couldn't run, so he grabbed my brother, carried him on his shoulders, and we just kept running. And then
Wow.
we kind of hid like in a bush.
Yeah.
And then when my dad was thought that it was safe to come out, we came out, got on the back of this car, and then we were here.
Oh
Mhm.
my God. That, that
Yeah,
is, isn't that like, it makes you realize like they really went through a lot to bring us over, right?
they did. They did.
Yeah.
It was it was very hard. It was very hard because we came from a house where we had a lot of space, a lot
Oh,
of space. I mean, we
yeah.
had my grandmother, my dad's mom left him a house in Mexico where we had a lot of like space to run around. We had
Yeah.
like a big, like a huge backyard, huge.
Yeah.
And then we came to live in a one bed, like a bedroom.
Yeah.
And in the part of town that my dad brought us, like, I mean, 1990, it was gangs and there was a lot of things going on.
Right.
We couldn't leave the apartment. We couldn't leave the house.
Oh my God.
So that was really hard for us because we were used to
Yeah.
like being able to do
Just
whatever we
run
wanted. We
free.
run
Yeah.
free, run free. And then we came to this place where we couldn't even play outside and we didn't know the language. We didn't know like we didn't know anything. Like we didn't know the culture. So it was very, we missed our house, we missed our home, we missed our family. We
Yeah.
had no family here, nothing but my dad.
Yeah.
So it was really, really hard for the first mm, 3 to 4 years. It was really, really
Right.
hard
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
for
yeah,
us
if
to,
you guys
yeah,
came from, being having so much freedom to coming over here and just being, told that you guys have to be in this room because it's so scary outside for now. Yeah.
yeah, it was hard. It was definitely very hard to get
Yeah.
adjusted to. I mean, and I was 5 years old. I wasn't that
Right?
old, but I
Yeah.
remember
You what,
like the
like
struggles.
kindergarten?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I did kindergarten in Mexico, and when I got here, I redid kindergarten again. So yeah, it was it was hard growing up, like because we always knew that we didn't have any people.
So were you like, because back then they would do like a lot of they would do a lot of ice raids too, no?
Yeah, a lot of us. So
Yeah.
my dad knew that in the part of town that we were safest was like in a white neighborhood. So my dad decided to move to like a white neighborhood. So
Got
when we got to back in the day, there was, you could count the people that were Mexican around. Like you knew like who was
yeah.
Mexican. And
Yeah.
so my dad moved us to the area where we grew up, and there wasn't a lot of rates there, but there was like no Mexican candy, there was no
Right.
tortillas, there was no, it was just hard for my mom to like adapt to this new life, the new city, without her mom, her siblings, anybody.
Right, yeah. You know what? We always forget. We think, "Oh, it was hard for us to adjust," but it must have been so hard for them too, to leave everything behind, leave their
Yeah,
parents behind, their
yeah,
siblings, like, everything they knew to come,
yeah.
you know? Yeah, to and
My mom left
everything's
everything
unknown to them
behind.
as well.
Yeah, and she was by herself with like zero support system, you know, and it was hard for her. It was hard for her because she left her mom for a long time.
Yeah, and they have to, like, almost, like, be strong for us, because they have to be like, "Oh, it's
Like,
gonna be okay," and they can't show that they're also struggling with this inside also.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
remember my mom writing to her mom, and
Oh,
like she used to get like a letter, like maybe two letters every year, like from her mom,
wow. Oh my god.
because back in the 90s, well, at least in California, if you
Yeah,
didn't have a California ID, you couldn't get a home phone. So we didn't have a home phone. We didn't have like a way to have that communication. It's not like now that we can like be in another part of the country and you can
right.
talk.
True.
No, back then it was really hard. Like she didn't hear her mom's voice for so many years. She didn't like, all she knew is what the letter said.
Yeah, that must have been so hard for them too. That's
Mm,
why when
mm,
one of the guys interviewed, he said that they were the original dreamers, they came here with so much
mhm,
hope and left so much behind. Because yeah, we were brought here and yeah, we don't know, like we don't know where we came from, but at least, we had our parents with us and we had our siblings with us and we all kind of experienced it all together. But
mhm,
they came here and they were the ones that had to figure it out,
right.
on their own. They didn't
Mm,
have nobody showing them the way, how to do stuff.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a difficult time for them as well to adjust to.
Yeah.
And then my sister got the series of operations that she needed,
Yeah.
and she got the help that she needed. And but it took years. It was like a whole plan of like, okay, we need
Sure.
to this is what's the procedure, and at this age
Yeah.
she'll get this one, and at this age she'll get this one. So my mom really wanted to leave, go back when my sister was like done with her operations.
Oh, okay.
But then, we started going to school, we started adjusting, my
Okay.
mom started working, but she didn't really see us adapting in
Oh,
Mexico back. Like
oh,
she saw that we were like from here already, and she didn't see us like adjusting over there.
yeah.
Um, and she adjusted, little by little. She started, um, her more of her family came over, and so she wasn't that alone anymore.
Oh, okay.
She had communication with her mom because we had a landline,
Oh,
and
okay. So
things
it
started to
eventually got
shift.
a little easier.
Yeah, it got a little easier. We started growing up, and we started, getting an education and learning English, learning how to speak English.
Yeah.
Um, and we faced a challenge for that. And I was telling somebody, I think this weekend, I was like, I've seen so many things. Like in 1994, we got hit by the 187 prop, remember?
Oh,
Like,
yes.
and yes, and
Yeah,
so we were scared of like going to school. We were scared
for
of
sure.
like, are they going to deport us? Are they going to deport our parents? Like, and then, it's like that persecution has followed us throughout our adult life.
So true. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's coming back, huh? It feels like.
yeah, it feels
Yeah.
like it's like we're reliving this, but now we're older, you know.
Yeah.
Now we're
So
older. Now
true.
we can assimilate things and be like, okay, I've been through this feeling before, this feeling of uncertainty. Back then, you were more worried because you had no protection at
True. Yeah.
all, right?
Yeah.
I
That is so.
remember graduating from high school. Um, and then I thought, then what?
Right.
Then what?
Yeah.
And I
Because
believe
back
it
then
was,
there was nothing for us still.
there was nothing for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I lived in California. And in 2001 or 2002, we had a governor. Don't remember who it was, but he said, whoever is a resident of California or has gone through the school system in California is considered a resident. So then I was able to go to college through
That
that
is amazing.
passing, through that
Yeah.
passing of because if you wanted to go to college, you had to pay like out of state tuition. And I remember when that went through, I was like, God, like I can go to college. I can go to college and like get my degree and like keep doing what I'm doing. But wait, like I can go to college, but I can't work
Right. Yes. Yeah.
because I don't have the proper paperwork.
Yes.
So, but I said, okay, I'm still going to college. I graduated from high school. I went to community college, and then I was a few classes away from um, majoring in child development.
Oh,
And I was like, but there's nothing for us. And this is like 2000, I graduated in 2003. And then I was like, there's nothing for us. Like, what is this piece of, because then I had to take the state test. And in
oh,
order for us to take the state test, you have to go through the Social Security. You have to present your Social Security, and you have to do all these things.
got it.
And that just like brought all my hopes down, and I
Right.
was like, well, now I have to, do what everybody does and, get myself in the workforce
Yes.
because like mm, living my dream or whatever is my career,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go anywhere.
Right. You're like, I have to put you in the back burner
Yeah,
for now.
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. I put it in the back burner. Um, and then so I did that. I put it in the back burner. I did a lot of college courses. I did a lot of like, I really advanced in my college. And then I didn't continue and didn't do anything because I knew I wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
When I remember going with my friend to breakfast, and me and her were in the same boat. She was brought here when she was little. I remember talking to her, and it was like very like emotional for us because we're like, you're so
Amazing.
smart, you're so bright, but
Yeah.
no podemos. Like,
Right.
there's
¿Qué
nothing
hacemos
for
ahora?
us. ¿Qué hacemos ahora? Like, the next day, she calls me and she says, did you hear what happened? And I said, no, what happened? She's like, Obama signed this order, like, that's gonna give us like something. And I said, what? Like I was like, what? Like I immediately like turned on the news and turned on like all the Spanish news because I knew they were gonna have it.
They would
And
show
yeah, there it was. There it was. And I said, this is amazing.
yeah.
And then I remember calling her and I said, are you all gonna apply? She's like, I'm already going to my lawyer's office, like contact an attorney. Like
Yeah.
we gotta do this. And it's effective like da da da, like the date. And so we told my mom about it. She took us to an attorney and he said, like, your three younger kids applied, but your oldest daughter doesn't. So we were like,
Wow. Because of the age?
Because of the age.
Oh my God. Like, by how much did she miss it? 'Cause you had to be what, 31?
She had to be 30, she had to be 31 and she was having 32,
Oh my
32 or
God.
33. Yeah.
Oh
So my mom
God.
was like, you know, like, so all three of my siblings got it. Well, the last three of us got it, and
Yeah.
she didn't.
Oh,
So it was really heartbreaking, like,
yeah, for sure.
because we
Oh,
all had the opportunity, but it was like
yeah,
she didn't.
yeah.
So our
Oh my,
happiness was like not completed.
right? Yes. Oh my God. W- How did she take it, if you don't mind me asking?
It was hard. It was
Right?
hard.
Wow.
It was hard. It's like, why did he have to put an age gap on it? Like,
Right.
why did
That's
he have to
true.
put an age gap on it?
Yeah.
You know? Because it
Yeah.
was like, you were brought here at the same time. We've lived here the same amount of years.
Yes. Literally.
Literally,
Yes.
it was really hard.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
really hard.
Yeah.
So we
Wow.
did that. We so we went and we took care of everything. And I remember, getting that acceptance, and I was like, wow. Like, I remember,
High school.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember getting my driver's license because I drove without a license for, I want to say I drove for about 10 years without a license.
Right. Yeah. It's
Hmm.
always just being like, oh my God, is there a cop close by or something? Yeah.
Hmm.
Living with that
Yeah,
fear every day. Yeah.
yeah.
Even though like you try and tell yourself like it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
As long as I'm driving
Mm.
good, it's
I
fine. Yeah.
know. As long as I'm driving good, it's fine. But like one day I was driving and I didn't have a license.
Yeah.
And I was driving, and then the ambulance came right behind me. And I was ah, like, should I go this way? Should I go that way? And then I was like, oh my God. So then I like pulled over, and there's a cop right behind the ambulance. And he pulls me over. And then he's like, do you have a driver's license? And I was like, I don't have one yet. Like, and because I knew how to speak English, and well, he's like, you gotta go get one, okay? And he gave me a ticket, and then he let me go.
My God. That is amazing.
But back then, if you got pulled over without a license and like you didn't know the language or anything, they're like,
Oh,
oh, like you can't, like, guess you're illegal, like we're gonna take your impound your car. And then you had to
oh
find
yeah.
somebody that had a license and then
Yes.
get it out. And then you had to pay all these fees, and it was
Then,
so
yeah.
much money. I mean, and so many times my brothers got pulled over and they're like, oh, you don't have a license? Yeah, I guess you don't have any papers either, but we're impounding your car. My brother got targeted like twice in one day by the same cop.
It's just like, like we've gone through so much, and it just feels like, why can't we just can we get a break? It's like we've been,
We're already in the system. I just don't
yeah,
understand. Like, we're already in the system. It's already been approved. Eh, why not give us the next step?
yes,
Why
exactly,
not? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
exactly, yeah,
And I've had like these days, I've been like, before the first Trump administration, my parents decided to go back to Mexico.
really.
Both of my parents went back.
Oh wow, how was
So
that?
it was really hard.
Yeah,
It was really hard because my mom's parents were getting older. My grandma didn't want to die here because my grandma came, and my grandma's like, I want to go back. I want to go back. I want to go back to my hometown. I want to. I want to go back and do this. So my parents decided that they were going to move back. That they were going to move back, and because my mom knew that we already had some sort of protection, she felt comfortable enough to going back. Um, I remember, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but here on the border, there's a park. It's called Parque de la Amistad. You can go there, and if you have like a work permit or a permit to be here in the United States, you can go to the wall, and they will be on the other side of the wall.
Oh, okay.
And I remember the first year that they left, I we paid for them to come back to TJ, and we met them at the wall,
Oh,
and we got to see them through the wall.
yeah. Oh my God, how emotional. How was that?
It was so hard. It was really hard. It was
Yeah.
really hard because
Like, can you even give him a hug?
no,
Right?
you can only touch like their tippy toes,
Yeah.
and and I remember not not wanting to leave.
Right? Yeah. It's
I
like, why
remember
did
not
you guys?
wanting to leave. I remember
Yeah.
not wanting to leave, and I said,
Oh no, you're okay. It's okay. Oh,
I remember telling her, "No me quiero ir,"
oh,
and she looked at me. She's like, "Volteate y vete." So I turned around and I left.
yeah.
But I haven't seen them since COVID.
Really?
Because they closed down the park. Yeah. I don't know if it's
Oh,
open. I haven't found, like, I haven't, but I got to see them after they left about 3 or 4 times at the wall.
that is, wow.
But it was I mean, it was a good choice because they were getting older. Her parents were getting older. Both of their parents passed away.
Oh, okay.
Um, both of my grandparents passed away, and there. But now she's over there, and we're over here,
Yeah,
and it's been hard.
sure.
And people don't realize it, or some people can relate if they don't have their
Yeah,
parents anymore. But when you have your parents here, they give you that protection, like that
yes.
protection that, like, oh, pues ahí está mi mamá, ahí está mi papá.
Yeah,
But when they're not here, you're like, this is real. We're here by ourselves. Like,
so, so true. Yeah.
we're here by ourselves. So
So
they went back and they're over there. And it was kind of good because they went back and they had a house that
true. They had your
that did it, my
grandma's, right?
grandma's house. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so, mm, we always thought like we have to have a plan B. Like we always have to have a plan B. Just then, if anything happens here, we have to have a plan.
true.
Um, so she went to, figure out plan B for us. So both of our parents are over there. And then they said, with this new administration that's coming in, he's gonna win, and we don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. You know, we don't know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. So it's it was hard. It was hard. They're going about 9 years over there, and um, and now she's over there scared for us over here. So it's like
Right?
never ending.
Yeah.
It's never ending. She's like,
So
"Ay, mija, ¿qué está pasando?" Like
true.
it's hard. And but having the opportunity to have DACA, I went back to I started working at a law firm. I started working at a law firm, and I went to a really because I worked at that law firm. I got the opportunity to do a paralegal certificate at one of like the best law schools in San Diego. Um,
Amazing.
so I have my paralegal certificate, and I was able to get that and like kind of pursue a higher education degree. And now I work at a law firm.
Nice. So, since you work at a law firm, did are you gonna take advantage of advanced parole?
We've been like hesitant, like we have everything for the advanced parole. It's just I had kids. I had kids in the transit of all this. So we got to go back. I came here when I was 5 years old. Now I'm 40, you know. I've
Yeah,
been in this country for 35 years, and
yes,
you know, you can say like, oh, it's 35 years, but 35 years have been a challenge. 35
right,
years, you know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
nothing
for
has
sure.
come easy.
No,
So I have two little ones. I have a 7-year old daughter and a 2-year old son. So I was able to have my kids, and and when you have a family, it's kind of hard because it's like it's I have to take the kids. I have to take, airplane. I have to take,
yeah, there's a
like
lot of planning.
there's a lot of planning for it, and
Yeah,
it's just a lot of money, and
true.
it,
Yeah, yeah, and then
yeah.
even just that, like the reasons, I feel like it has to be like a really solid one.
hmm
Yeah,
There, I mean, there's a perfectly good reason why I would go back. My
yeah,
parents,
for
my mom
sure.
hasn't been healthy. She's struggled with some health issues. Um, and that would be our biggest reason to go back,
Oh, yeah.
to visit our grandfather's grave, our grandma's grave.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
heartbreaking when they died. It was heartbreaking,
Oh, yeah.
because you're stuck here. The
Yeah, and it
only
seems like
thing
you
that,
guys are like a very close-knit family.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's like, and the only thing we can do from here is send money, That's the
Yeah.
only thing we can do. I remember when my grandpa passed away, it was sudden.
Uh,
It was very sudden. And I remember going to work, um, and sitting, at my desk. And I remember an attorney coming over and she said, "What's wrong?" And I said, my grandpa died like this morning. Like I think it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And they told us like that. And I said, and there's nothing you can do because I'm stuck here. The only thing we can do is send money. That's the only thing we can do. So it's
for
pretty
sure.
heartbreaking because
It is. Yeah.
other people can get on a plane and go.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
They can just go on a plane and go. Just get on the first plane and then you'll be there in 3 hours,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
But when you're like this,
Yeah. You
there
just
isn't,
feel so, yeah.
yeah,
Like
hopeless.
you can't do anything. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the word. So hopeless.
So, you pull yourself together again and you continue to do things. I remember before I started, seeking a job at restaurants and stuff, I was a babysitter for a long time. For like 10 years, I babysat. And I remember the mom of one of the kids telling me, "You're so strong. Like, things come at you and you just, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you." And I said, "I have to. I have no choice. You know, I have no choice." And then when Trump's administration came the first time, and then he did all of the things that he did,
God, yeah.
and you're
Still.
just like, really?
Yeah.
Again? Like, what now? What now? And then now I think, like, what now?
And he's showing us, girl. He's like, you don't have to question for very long.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, he is really like every day it's like something. It's like what is this man gonna do today?
Yeah. And it just we're targeted in such a way where people don't even think like people don't even think that he has all of this like military and stuff, and everybody's like, but people don't think like he's like taken away from that invisible wall,
Oh yeah,
you know,
true.
because now he is exposing the country for an attack that we're not going to be ready for,
Right, yeah. Yeah, that is true.
you know, like we
Yeah.
could have a whole 9/11 thing going, anywhere in the States because all our troops are at the border. So, like, that invisible wall that they are supposed to be watching is not being watched because he's persecuting innocent
Oh yeah.
people.
Literally, yeah, yeah. And he's using like the military aircrafts to
Yeah,
have them
yeah,
sent back. And it's like
yeah,
this is I wonder how much money has been spent so far.
a lot.
Because that has to be in the millions right now. How much?
I mean, just imagine how much, like, each plane ticket it cost. Each plane ticket for normal people.
Sure.
Let's say
Yeah.
300, and there's a ton of passengers, 70 or 80 or 100 or 150 passengers.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine how much just
Yeah.
on one airfare, it's
Yeah.
a
Right?
ton of money, a ton of money.
Yeah.
Like, and for what?
Right? It's
For
like
what? Like, yeah, there are certain things that I, don't approve,
yeah.
but at the end of the day, like, you got to choose your battles. Like, do you want to serve the people? Who are you serving? Because he's not serving the American people by
No.
costing, making their fruit and vegetables be more expensive,
Yeah. Yeah. And
you
that's what
know?
he ran on. He ran on, oh yeah, no, prices are gonna go down. And it's like when? Because this is how you got everybody to vote for you.
Mhm. And everything seems going higher and higher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever like thought about like, what am I doing here?
I have. I have, but like I don't have family out in Mexico. I mean, I do. I have my grandparents, but we're not close. Like,
Mhm.
so, like,
I've thought
if the
about
day
that.
of tomorrow, yeah. See, like all of my parents' family, they're all here, like spread out everywhere. The only ones that are over there are just my mom's grandparents. Like, don't know. I don't know anything about my dad, so I don't know like his side of the family.
Mhm.
And yeah, so like if anything were to happen tomorrow, if they were to send me back, like I wouldn't know where to go. I would be lost.
And that's so uncertain. Like that's like the uncertainty that we live every day. And that's what my parents thought about. Like, where are we gonna go if something happens? Like, ¿a dónde? ¿Dónde vamos a llegar? Where are you guys gonna have a home?
Yeah.
Like, and that was like the plan B. That was the plan. They're gonna go establish something just in case we need to, we get deported or we get,
Isn't that crazy how it just came to my head? They brought you guys here, they got everything set up, and then they left to kind of get everything set up for you guys again,
yeah,
just in the what if.
just in what if
Yeah.
sacrificing that separation of our family
Yeah,
again.
again. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh my God. Like, see, like, this is why I don't understand. Like, this is what I want people to understand. Like, Yeah, they're leaving, all of our parents left, the country. They know their family. They left everything they knew to come here for a better life for us, right? And and then they've always lived with this uncertainty because the last amnesty was back in the 80s, early 90s, and like a lot of people, like it was so easy back then to just go, come back, and then
Mm-hmm.
some of them missed it, and or weren't able to get it because of money or whatever it was. But there hasn't been anything since then.
And a lot of people don't understand the immigration system and how it works. They're like,
Yes.
well, you can become a citizen, right? I heard that if you're here for like 5 years, you can become a citizen. And I'm like, no, it doesn't work that
No.
way. It
No.
doesn't work like that. Like you
Yeah.
have to go through a process and then they have to approve you. And
Yes.
then because after I worked at an immigration law firm as well. And this is what kind of bothers me, like, sometimes me enojo, because I was like, there's not just Mexicans that are illegal. I'm just
Yes.
saying,
See.
there's not just Mexicans that are illegal. There's Turks, there's Brazilians, there's Vietnamese, there's islanders, like
Yes.
from Samoa. There's people, um, I mean, all kinds of other people
Yeah.
from other nations, English. Like there's so many immigrants, but our people, our brown people, are the ones that get targeted.
Yes.
And we, the brown people, are the ones that go to the front for all these other immigrants, for
True.
people that don't lift up their voices. We, Mexicans, we lift up the voices for Venezuela's, Peruanos, Haiti, all
Yeah.
those other nations that they don't never show up at the front lines.
Yeah.
Mexico's always there first.
See.
And things change because we riot, because we do walks, because we,
Yeah, we'll do the protest right now.
we'll do the
Yeah.
protest. We go over
Yeah.
there and protest, and all these people get benefited from it.
Yes, so true because you know what? There's so many plans for like even like they do like the lotteries.
Mhm.
It's for every other country except Mexico.
Right.
For us, it is the hardest to do.
Yeah. Because what do we do when we don't have papers? Agachamos la cabeza and we keep working,
Yeah,
you know?
so true.
That's what we do.
Yeah,
That's what we do.
yeah,
And so we go out there, we protest, we make changes, and all those other people benefit from it.
very true.
And it's hard
It is.
when we have to work so hard for all these changes. And we've been working hard because
Yeah,
35 years in this country and I don't get anything, you know? And it's like,
yeah. And the only thing we get is, I mean, I'm grateful for it because it's amazing to have at least a little bit of a peace of mind, but to know that you just have like a 2-year expiration date.
yeah.
You only have up to 2 years, and then, you have to hope that
And in
it
those
gets
2 years,
approved.
there's no room for mess ups.
Yes, no, you have to
There's
be,
no
yeah,
room for mess ups. There's no room for any mistake,
no, yeah, yeah. People just take for granted.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and it's hard
It is.
to grasp all that when you've been in the system and you're like, I've been both ways. I've I've had nothing. I've had kinda something,
Yeah,
but I'm not quite there.
yeah, exactly. Especially now, it just feels like so much even more. You're just like, it's scary to
It's
be like,
uncertain.
yeah, it's like, is he gonna touch it? Is he gonna come out today and say something about that?
I think that he learned the first time that we're not going anywhere, you know? and he sometimes acknowledges is that
Yeah.
there's 800,000 of us that we're not going anywhere, but it would go against his plan.
Right. Right.
It
Yeah.
would go against what he because he's a puppet.
Right. Because I was gonna say it's not even. I feel like it's not even him. It's like all the people behind them's agenda.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a puppet. He's a puppet. So
Yeah.
he's not going to go for something that, will make him look
Yeah.
good,
True. True. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But then, I mean, a lot can happen. A lot
True.
can happen. He could be like, you know what, I'm feeling generous today. And
Right.
I want them to know that it was because of me,
Oh my
so
God.
he'll take the credit for it.
Please.
He,
Oh my God.
right.
Yeah.
You
It's like,
know,
oh,
even
yeah.
though Obama gave us the opportunity,
Yeah. Yeah. For
you
sure.
know,
And it's like, oh, so
and
true.
it's just like so much uncertainty. And I don't know about you, but I had a lot of it, like anxiety the first week. And I said, it's you gotta let it go. You've faced this before, you've faced adversity, you've gone through so much, your parents have gone through so much, your siblings have gone through so much.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure. And you know what?
just let it go.
It sounds like you have like a lot of support too. Because like you
I
said, your siblings are with you and they're going through the same thing with you.
Yeah, yeah. It's
So
I
you're
mean,
not alone.
one of my brother is a real estate agent, and my other brother is he works for a pizza company. Um, mm, so we really support each other. Um, so it's my brother's like, we've been through this, like we got this.
Yeah,
We've been through
yeah,
this. We're gonna be okay.
for sure. And I feel like that's where you can kind of like mentally take like a little bit of a load off because you have that support
Yeah,
from like your own family.
and I
So
have
that
my parents' support too,
yeah, it
because
sounds
now
like
I
it. Yeah.
know, like, okay, there's the plan.
Yeah.
If ever
Yeah.
anything were to happen, and that's one of the
Right.
things that I also want to encourage everybody, to have a plan. And not having a plan doesn't necessarily mean like saving up all this money. It's like, no, you have to have a plan to where you're gonna go and how you're gonna do it. Luckily, we have a really good president right now in Mexico that is supporting
Oh yeah.
all
She's doing a
all
lot.
of us, and look into like, what is it that you need to do, what kind of job opportunities, what can you do that's doable over there, that's doable over here, anywhere, any country that you're from,
Yeah.
so you are prepared and you have that plan, a backup plan,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. So yeah, that's true.
we don't want
Yeah.
to be unprepared,
Oh
and
yeah,
then we
no,
don't want
yeah,
to take anything for granted.
true. Yeah. Yeah, this girl was saying that it would be good to have like a emergency backpack with like copies of your documents if you can't, that way you don't have like the real ones in there, and
Mhm.
have like an emergency backpack that you can take with you in case something
Right.
does happen
Yeah.
to hold you over, for the first few days or the first few weeks.
Yeah. Or have an attorney's number. Have somebody that can send in a representative for you. Um, be aware of your rights,
Yes.
be aware of like all this just awareness. Like I was listening to the guy that's in charge of like deporting us, like deporting people. I don't remember his name. But he
Oh
was
my
like, it
God.
looks like Chicago was like really prepared and really informed.
Yeah.
And he was like, he's like, a lot of people know their rights. Well, guess who's giving them the
Yes.
movement? The
Right?
movement is providing all
Yeah.
the proper things for people to know their
So
rights.
So true, yes, yeah. Yeah, have
So,
the know your rights paper, and then, like, the community has really cut is coming in, like, all the
mhm,
education that they are providing, the red cards, all the videos that people are
mhm,
making with like little stories to show you like if this happens, if it goes like in this kind of scenario, like they're showing different scenarios and what to do. It's really coming in and helping out. Even if it reaches like one person and it helps out one person, I feel like it's just been amazing everything that the
yes,
community is doing to help educate us.
yes, yes. And so don't, keep going. Just
Yeah,
keep educating other people, keep seeing if there's ways of like if you know somebody that has like a 21-year-old, have them make that petition for you, even though you can't. Like there's no lead way for it right now, as long as the petition isn't like just do it.
really?
So yeah, anyone can petition for you. It doesn't mean that you can que vas a arreglar, but anybody can put an I-130 for you. Anyone can.
Um, like final advice for people that are like dealing with like a lot of fear and like their mental health, like a perfect ending to end it. Any advice?
Well, just share your story. Share your story and make it stronger. Make us stronger. I mean, there's the only thing that we can do is share our story, and if you have anxiety and have things that worry you, talk to somebody.
For sure.
Let it all out.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
it out. There is support out there. There's a
Oh
lot of
my God, there
support.
is. Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, everybody's really, really coming out. And especially right now with social media, I feel like it makes it so easy to find somebody or find a group on Facebook
Yeah,
that you can go ahead and talk to somebody. And we're all in the same boat. We're all going through the same things and we're here for each other.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
You're
Maribel. This
welcome.
was so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story with me.
Thank you
And
for having me.
oh my God, yes, of course.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a great
Bye, Lupe.
day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to Voices of Dreamers. I hope today's conversation inspired you a deeper understanding of the incredible stories within the DACA community. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with friends, leave a review, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Remember, we all have a voice, and together we can make a difference. Until next time, keep dreaming big, and I'll see you soon.